Hello everybody, today back in another video. Alright, my friends, all around the world. It was a long time ago I did the video, but now I feel that I need to do one. And which was the biggest result of the week last week? Which was the biggest result of the week last week? And we all know who that was. It was Djokovic losing against Riley Opelka. Riley Opelka has been outside the tour for 2 years or something like that, and has just came back from injury and just played some fabulous tennis. So it was not like Djokovic was defeating himself. I must say that first. I will come to Djokovic. Riley Opelka played a really good match, and by the way, played a good tournament overall, and lost. He retired in the final against Lahechka in Brisbane. He was serving huge, he's a serve bot, all right? It's not like the same kind of serve bot a la Karlovic or a la Isner. According to me, he's a better mover than both Isner and Karlovic, and especially has a better backhand than both Isner and Karlovic. Especially Karlovic backhand, it was just a disaster. And Isner's backhand was okay. It was not good, far away, miles away from that, but it was not with his backhand that Isner was winning his points. And it is not. It is the same thing with Opelka as well. It is not with the backhand he's winning the points. It is with his huge serve and his huge forehand. I mean, mostly with his huge serve. And Opelka was more or less hitting both first serves against the match against Djokovic. So Djokovic, even when Opelka was not. I think Opelka landed a lot of first serves in the match, if I'm not mistaken. I think he landed 77% first serves in. Djokovic also landed a lot of first serves in, 73. So, but Opelka landed more. But when Opelka was using his second serve, but it was not many times he needed to use that. I believe 15 times. So Opelka hit 15 second serves, and he won 13 of those points behind his second serve, which makes it to 87%. So Opelka won 87% behind his second serve. All right, that is the highest I've ever seen someone do against Novak Djokovic. I've never seen a player winning higher percent behind his second serve than Opelka did against Djokovic. Or 87%, that is just insane. And the reason for that is he was going big with his second serve, all right? He was of course afraid of Novak's returns, because Novak is the best returner of all time. So he was just hitting 2 first serves, more or less. And that's why you can see in the stat, Novak won only 13% of the second serve return points won. 13%. That is the lowest I have ever seen Novak Djokovic win. Only 13% on the second serve return points won from Novak Djokovic. And that has to do with, of course, Opelka and him going big behind the second serve. So Novak was not beating himself, and I must say that. So Opelka did one of his best matches of his career, of course, but it is still Novak Djokovic, and it is still Riley Opelka. Riley Opelka has not the greatest returns in the world. He's one of the worst returners on the tour, and his backhand is not the greatest either. His backhand is not even top 50 according to me. So, of course, Opelka did a great match in this match, but Djokovic didn't do a disaster match. Like I said, he landed a lot of first serves in, 73%. He did 8 aces, only 1 double fault. Opelka does double more aces than Djokovic, 16 aces and only 1 double fault. So, but Opelka winning the serve dynamic battle was expected, all right? Opelka doing more aces, Opelka landing more first serves in. For God's sakes, Opelka is huge, all right? He's a huge dude, so he he will reach and he will have easier time in landing more first serves in than Djokovic. So that was not any surprise. What I was surprised, and here comes Novak's biggest problem. Look, Novak has, if you analyze Novak's game this late in his career, he's 37 years old, he will be 38 years old later this year. He's not as weak as Nadal was towards his end of his career. No, Novak is still, for God's sake, top 10 in the world, all right? But he's not winning any tournaments. He was not in Brisbane to lose. I will be honest with you. I didn't do a preview video. I didn't do a tournament preview video. I didn't do that. But I believe Novak will win the tournament. When I saw the player that was in the field, the highest ranked player there was Grigor Dimitrov, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought that this is Novak's big chance to win his 100th title. Alright? And Novak was not there to lose in the quarterfinal against Riley Opelka. Novak won 2 matches before. One of the matches that he won before was against the player that he has won 1 million times against. Not quite, but you're getting my point. Against Monfils, which he defeated Monfils for the 20th consecutive time. He can beat Monfils even in his sleep, it seems. So, and when he faced Opelka in the quarterfinals, I thought, all right, a serve butt. With a weak back and with the disasters of returns, he will not beat Djokovic. And I will be honest, I thought Djokovic will win the tournament. All right, I was wrong. Djokovic, he lost. All right. It was a close 2 sets. It was not like Opelka steamrolled Novak. The first set was a tiebreaker, which Opelka won 8-6 in the tiebreak, and then the second set, Opelka won 6-3 with 1 break. With 1 break of serve. Djokovic never broke Opelka's serve. Djokovic actually saw only 1 break punch opportunity in Opelka's serve, which was in the beginning of the second set, which Opelka saved. That was all Djokovic saw in Opelka's serve. 1 break punch opportunity. Alright. So, it was a close straight sets win I can for Opelka. But erase everything. Novak is towards the end of his career. Of course he is. Novak is old in the tennis terms. He's not old in an ordinary life. With his 37, it's not a huge number in the regular life. But in the tennis terms, he's old. All right, tennis is not an old man's sport. Tennis is a young man's sport. So, and Opelka is a player with you will not have many chances. So you will not see many breaking punch opportunities against that kind of a huge server. All right. But what made me concerned when I was watching this match, how Opelka was beating Novak from the baseline. There you have Novak's biggest problem. He is getting beat from the baseline. Alright, Novak was beating Opelka from baseline as well, but Opelka was hanging in with Novak from the baseline. It was not like Djokovic was dominating the baseline rallies. Do you know what the biggest key in tennis is? Do you know what the biggest weapon in tennis is? Do you know what the biggest force in tennis is? Some of you can say serve, some of you can say returns. That is not the correct answer. Because if it was the serve, we would have seen Opelka win major, which he will of course never do, or Isner, or Karlovic, or Query, or Kevin Anderson, you name it, baby. Big service has never won majors. When I say big service, who doesn't have other big weapons, all right? I will come to what is the most important thing in tennis, which this is not even an opinion. This is more or less a fact. If you look at historically, which players has been successful, and the players who has these things, who are superior at this thing that I will mention soon, they are the players who has won the most majors in the tennis history. Djokovic 24, Nadal 22, Federer 20. And the thing I'm talking about is the most important thing in tennis, my tennis fans all over the world, is the baseline game. The player who defends the best, the player who misses the less, the player who wins the baseline rallies, the player that is there, you have a very, very successful tennis player. Why do you believe Djokovic is not as successful nowadays as he used to be 12 to 15 months ago or 12 to 24 months ago? Why do you think that is the case? He's getting beat from a baseline. Djokovic is not even top 5 player in the world from a baseline at the current moment. He's not even top 5. For sure not top 4. Maybe he's top 5, alright? And maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but for sure he's not top 3. He is not even top 3 as the strongest baseline player in the world at the current moment. I can say 3 players just quick now in 3-4 seconds who are better baseline player than Djokovic at the current moment. Sinner, Alcaraz, Zverev. These 3 players are definitely better than Novak Djokovic at the baseline at the current moment. So that is very, very bad news for Novak Djokovic, alright? So maybe Djokovic is top 5 in the best tennis player from the baseline at the current moment in the world. Maybe he is, but he definitely is not top 3. He definitely is not top 3. And to be able to win the biggest events, be able to win the biggest tennis tournaments, you need to have this big key to be good from a baseline, to not miss much, to do damage from a baseline, to be consistent from a baseline, to out-hit your opponents from a baseline. Djokovic is not doing that. Another thing that is not an advantage for Novak Djokovic, he has lost that aura. He doesn't have the aura anymore. Players are not afraid from him. Like Opelka said after he defeated Djokovic, he said, it doesn't matter how much Djokovic scouts me. In the end of the day, I have nothing to lose. I just go out there and go big for my shots, take risks, and then sees how it goes. It is exactly the... Opelka is absolutely right. He, and not only him, and many others, they don't have much to lose. Djokovic is the greatest tennis player of all time, and he, even though he's 37, doesn't matter. Of course it matters. I don't expect Novak Djokovic to win majors anymore. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Djokovic will win any more majors. Not even one more. He really needs a miracle to win one more major, Novak Djokovic. I'm even doubtful if he will even play one more Grand Slam final. I really am. And if he has one more last Grand Slam final in him, I think he has played 37 Grand Slam finals. Of course, that is an all-time record. He has 10 Grand Slam finals at the Slow Open, 10 Grand Slam finals at Wimbledon, 10 Grand Slam finals at the US Open. That makes it 30. And then he has also 7 Grand Slam finals at French Open. So he has played 37 Grand Slam finals in total. If he has one left in him, Grand Slam final, one left in him, but even there I'm doubtful. I will say it like this. I will say 70% Djokovic will never play one more Grand Slam final in his career, and 30% Djokovic will never, and 30% Djokovic will play one more Grand Slam final in his career. And that 30% I give him at Wimbledon, because at Wimbledon we don't have many good grass court players. We don't have. How many great grass court players do we have? It is Djokovic is one of them. It is Alcaraz for sure, who has won Wimbledon back-to-back both 2023 and 2024. Sinner is a decent grass court player. Yeah, he is. He played after all the quarterfinal at Wimbledon last year. So and has played also semi-final at Wimbledon. Sinner. Medvedev is a decent grass court player. It's not a great one, but it's a decent. He played the semi-final at Wimbledon. Djokovic. Medvedev. So he has a Wimbledon. He has a couple of semi-finals. Medvedev at Wimbledon, not only one. I believe he has 2, if I'm not mistaken. So you can count in one hand good Grand Slam players, in one hand. But on hard court, that gets much bigger. It is not only one hand. You can count on two hands that kind of many good hard court players. We have the same thing, I believe, on clay as well. So if Novak has one left Grand Slam final in him, it is indeed at Wimbledon. I don't think Novak will ever play a Grand Slam final again at Australian Open. I don't think Novak will ever play a Grand Slam final at French Open again. And I for sure don't believe that Djokovic will ever play a Grand Slam final at US Open again. So I will give him 30% chances that we'll play one more Wimbledon final. 30% chances. That's it. When it comes to Djokovic winning one more major and winning that 25th Grand Slam title, which he so much wants to do, I'm 90% sure Djokovic will not win one more Grand Slam title again. 90% sure. 90%. Not. I can say 95, 99 because it is still Novak Djokovic. You can never count him out. But I've done a video. And I said that he will not win it. So I will stand to that prediction. I will not change it. And as lower he gets in the ranking, as more difficult will it be. He will not get easy time in the draw. He can face players like Alcaraz and Sinner already in the quarterfinal. If he doesn't go back to be top 4 in the world, if he's outside the top 4, he can play against these players already in the quarterfinal. And he can play Alcaraz in the quarterfinal. He can play Sinner in the semifinal. And do I believe that he will be able to beat those two superstars back to back, Alcaraz in the quarters and Sinner in the semifinals? No. So Novak needs a miracle to win one more major. He almost needs a miracle to play one more Grand Slam final. Because he has lost that aura. People are not afraid of him. I'm talking about people who are even outside top 30 in the world. I'm not talking about Sinner and Alcaraz. They are, of course, not. They are not afraid of him, not even little. They even expect to beating him. Players like Alcaraz and Sinner, especially in the majors, especially in best of 5 sets matches. Those players, they are the alpha hunters of tennis right now. Sinner and Alcaraz. Let's face it. So I'm talking about players that are outside top 30. They are not afraid of him. One of those players is Opelka. Of course, besides Monfils. Of course, Monfils will never beat Novak Djokovic. So that is the most lopsided head-to-head that we have ever seen. Players never won against another player 20 consecutive times. And we have never seen that kind of a head-to-head lopsided. Never. 20 love Novak is against Monfils. But all the other players, they are not afraid of him. And it has to do, he has lost that aura. He is 37 years old. He is not as good from the baseline as he used to be. He really is. When I see Djokovic, he still is playing decent tennis. He's still playing decent tennis. But he doesn't return as good as before. He's not as fast as before. He's still serving good. I'll be honest. He's still serving good. And he's not serving bad. Absolutely not. So he's not returning as good as before. He's not hitting his backhand as good as before. He's not fast as before. He's not as fast as before, of course, because he's 37 years old. But the biggest, absolutely biggest difference I'm seeing Novak now, he's this late in his career, and Novak, say 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago, he is absolutely not as good from the baseline as before. Novak's absolute biggest problem right now, and I think it will be till the day he retires, it is that he has lost the level from the baseline. He is not even top 3 in the world from the baseline anymore. He really is not. And for him to be able to win majors, he needs to be top 1 or top 2. And who has won most majors in career? It's Novak. Novak is the greatest baseline player of all time. He is, but he's not the greatest baseline player at the current time. Nadal won 22 majors. He's one of the greatest baseline players of all time. Federer won 20 majors. Federer is also one of the greatest baseline players of all time. Many people believe that Federer was a serve volley player. No, he was not. Federer was not a serve volley player. Federer was a baseline player. Until two other dudes came who was better than him from the baseline, Nadal and Djokovic, and that's why Nadal and Djokovic ended with more majors than Federer. So bottom line is, the biggest key, the biggest factor, the biggest weapon, the most important thing in tennis is how good you are from a baseline. If you're good from a baseline, you will be extremely successful as a tennis player. If you're bad from a baseline, you will be very weak, and you will not be successful as a tennis player. Of course, having great serve, having great returns helps a lot, but that doesn't help if you are weak from a baseline. Novak is not as good from a baseline as he used to be, and that's why I really don't believe Novak Djokovic has one left more major in him. I really don't believe so. I really don't. I will be shocked if Novak wins one more major. For God's sakes, he's not even able to win these 250 class tournaments. What kind of a message do you think he is sending to the tour? When a player like Opelka, who has not played tennis for 2 years, comes and just beats him in straight sets. Yeah, Opelka did one of his best matches of his life. Absolute. I get it to him. I will give him that to him. It was not like Djokovic was beating himself, but a player like Opelka was hanging with Novak from the baseline. A player like Opelka was beating Novak from the baseline. A player like, not all the time, but time to time. According to me, a player like Opelka should not stand a chance against Novak Djokovic from a baseline. So if Opelka can hang in with Novak from the baseline, what in hell do you think players like Sinner, Alcaraz, Zverev will able to do with Novak? What in hell do you think they will able to do with Novak? So Novak, and then that aura that he has lost. Novak's invincible of aura that he used to have, that has completely disappeared. Players are not afraid. I'm not talking about top 10 players. Top 10 players are, of course, not afraid of Novak at all. At all. Not the Novak of the current time. Novak who's 37 years old, and then who will be 38 years old. All right? So, I'm talking about players that who are outside top 30. They will not. They are not afraid of Novak anymore. They are not. So it is many things that Novak's had a lot of obstacles that are in Novak's way. It is many things. One thing, of course, one huge factor is he's not facing players in the deep rounds in majors that are as weak that he used to do between 2018, 2019 to 2023. And the players I'm talking about, the players that were born in the 90s. I've talked about this many times. Now the alpha hands of tennis are Sinner and Alcaraz. These two players are much better than players that were born in the 90s, all right? Alcaraz and Sinner, they have won 6 Grand Slam titles together. Alcaraz 4, Sinner 2 already. Players that are born in the 90s, they were able to win only 2. The Tony Team won, Medvedev won. There we have 1. The other thing is Novak is not prioritizing. He's not prioritizing the ranking anymore. All right, he's not caring about the ranking anymore, and that will make him damage. Why? Because if he doesn't have a high ranking, he will have harder times doing damage on the slams. Why? Because he will face higher ranked players early in the tournament, like I said earlier in the video, like an Alcaraz in the quarterfinal and a Sinner in the semifinal. That is the second thing. The third thing is he's absolutely not as good from the baseline as he used to be. Absolutely not. The fourth thing, he has lost that aura, that invincible aura that he had around him, say 5 to 10 years ago. And then maybe the most important thing, absolutely most important thing, Father Time is undefeated, baby. So if I could say 5 reasons why Novak will not win any more majors in his career, it is he's not facing these 90 born players in the deep runs in tournaments, in semi-finals and finals like he used to do. Now he's facing Alcaraz and Sinner in Grand Slams, in semi-finals and finals. For the other thing is he's I forgot. He's not prioritizing the ranking. He's just not prioritizing the ranking. That is the fourth reason. The third reason, he's not good from a baseline anymore. He's good, but not as good as before. That's what my point is. He's still good, but not as good as before. That is the third reason. The second reason, people are not afraid of him like they used to do. His invincible aura has disappeared. For sure, it has disappeared. And the number one reason, if I could say my number one reason why Novak Djokovic will never win one more major in his career, it is because Father Time is defeated. And do you know what? I will be bold here. I will even say he will never play one more Grand Slam final again in his career. I will do a bold prediction, my tennis fans on a roll. Because when it comes to winning one more major, I'm pretty confident that he will not do. Hope he proves me wrong. I really hope he proves me wrong. I would love to see Novak Djokovic win one more major and make it to that 25th Grand Slam title. It will be such an iconic number. It will be that. I don't care about Margaret Court's record with 24 Grand Slam titles. I talked about this before sometimes. Because hers 24 Grand Slam titles, they have not been, all of those have not been in the professional era, all right? She has won majority of them in a non-professional era. Novak's has been, all of Novak's 24 Grand Slam titles has been on a professional era. So Novak's 24 Grand Slam titles have much more value than Margaret Court's 24 Grand Slam titles, all right? Period. But Novak, the perfection that he is, the beast that he is, the fighter that he is, the mentality that he has, he doesn't want to be in the same category as Margaret Court. Not at all whatsoever. So he really badly wants to win that 25th major. And I would love to see him do that. I really would love to see him do that. When Novak played Alcaraz in last year's Olympic gold final match, I didn't believe Novak would defeat Alcaraz in that final. I didn't believe that, all right? I will not sit here and lie. But when Novak proved me wrong, I was so happy for him. Because a player of that magnitude who has won absolutely everything in tennis, it was just that title that was missing in his big cabinet. I was so happy for him. He really deserved that Olympic gold medal. He really did that. And that made him historic. That made him historic. He made history with that Olympic gold medal. Because he is the only player, male or female, to win all 15 big tournaments. Never has that done. That has never been achieved by any other player, male or female, besides Novak Djokovic, to win all the big 15 tournaments in tennis. So I was really happy for Novak when he won that Olympic gold medal last year against Carlos Alcaraz in the final, even though I didn't believe he will win and beat Alcaraz in that final. So if Novak proves me wrong and wins that 25th major, I will be so happy. But the reason that I mentioned, these 5 reasons that I mentioned in this video, I can't just see how he will somehow go through all these 5 reasons, because these are not easy reasons. These are big 5 arguments according to me. He's not facing easy opponents in Alcaraz and Sinner. He's not prioritizing the ranking anymore. His baseline game is not as good as before. His invincible aura has disappeared, and he is 37 years old. And he will be 38 years old when he will play French Open 5-6 months ago. So Australian Open will be his last Grand Slam tournament where he will play as 37 years old. So these 5 reasons makes me to believe that Novak will never win one more major. And I will be bold and even say Novak will never play one more Grand Slam final again. I think he has played 37 Grand Slam finals. I don't believe he will play his 38th Grand Slam final. Hope he proves me wrong, especially the other one to win 25 majors, because even if he plays one more Grand Slam final and he loses that, he will not be satisfied. He will not be happy. He wants to win his 25th Grand Slam title. Do I believe he will do that? No, I don't believe that. But I truly hope that he will prove me wrong. I will be very, very, very happy and very, very satisfied if he proves me wrong, but I don't believe he will do that because of those 5 reasons that I mentioned in this video. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace!